what Jesus has to say with his opening statement today. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we told you it would get a little heated on your planet, and it is it not? What we want you to understand is that the form that the energy shifts are taking are, it is important not to be deceived by the forms. So what you are seeing is a mixture of energies. You are seeing some manipulated energies, some orchestration by the elites that rule your planet. They are choosing that which you will focus on. So whenever there is an event that your mainstream media is covering, blanket covering, pushing, they are asking you to look at that while they are doing something else. That is what they are doing. So it's very, very important for all of you to have this note in your notebooks. When the mainstream media is pushing a particular story, it is because it suits the establishment. So this is a bewildering effect that you are experiencing right now, because it seems as if you would be a bad person if you did not care about what's happening on the mainstream media. After all good people are horrified at racism, are they not? And so if you are not jumping on that bandwagon, you may be attacked, you may be judged. This is all part of the plan to keep your frequencies low. We must remind you of this. This is not new. The mainstream media has been doing it for decades. This is why the news is so low frequency, because there is a belief in your society that if you watch the news, you're well informed, and if you don't watch the news, you're ignorant or you don't care. We want to encourage all of you to pay attention to what the mainstream media is telling you, and then look away from it. Look at it and say, wow, every single channel, every single big company, every single movie star, every single celebrity is talking about the same thing. That means I should be looking elsewhere. So it's a very, very simple formula that we are offering you today. Look elsewhere. Look at what else is going on. Look at the banking situation, for example. Look at the finances of your countries. Look at the technology that is being rolled out. These are things that are happening over here while they're getting you to look over there. Now, we are not saying that the world is the place to go for a solution. What we're saying is, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by propaganda. Your purpose is, as Course in Miracles students, to rise above the battleground. So if you are being incited to riot over here, keep your peace over here. Don't fall for the incitement to riot. Rioting is a low frequency activity. Speaking about victimhood is deeply enmeshed in the dualistic battleground narrative, which is that there are some people who are more powerful than other people. There are some people who are worse off than others. This is the duality of your world. This is the yin and yang. This is the up and down. This is the hot and cold. When you're in that frequency, it is real to you. It is real to the people who are in that frequency. But as Course in Miracles students, we are saying get above the battleground and take a higher view of the whole thing. The higher view, imagine looking down on Earth from the moon. What are you going to see? You're going to see a boundaryless, beautiful planet. You are going to see no barriers to movement other than the oceans. You are going to see everything connected, every single cloud system, all the water systems, everything is connected. That's the higher view that we want you to see. You are all connected. these separation techniques, these frequency lowering techniques that are at play are designed to take you down into the lower realms of 3D, where guess what resides there? Poverty, sickness, battling, murder, racial troubles. That's in the lower realm of 3D. We want to get you up into the higher realms of 5D, where connection is, where creativity is, where happiness and joy is, where seeing your brothers and helping your brothers and living in communion is. So don't get dragged down into that vortex of negativity. The system is crumbling with a difficult, confusing pattern in that crumbling. The powers that be, the governments above your governments, are seeking to put many countries into a state of poverty and disruption because they really do not care for the planet. They are not earthbound in that sense. They are not worried about their children living here. So it is one of those things that has bewildered many beings to look at some of the rules that are being implemented on your planet. Unhealthy food production systems, unhealthy technology emitting systems, unhealthy technology development systems. And then you ask yourself, well, don't they care about their children or their grandchildren? The answer is no, they don't. So you are trying to impose your value system on beings that do not have your value system. So this is why when you look at election after election or government after government, things not only don't change, they are getting worse because they do not care about the planet and the health of the planet and the health of the people on the planet. It does not matter why they are that way. It does not matter what their motivation is. What your motivation needs to be is to step above that 3D patterning, step above the frequency of victim perpetrator, and to understand that you are all playing a part in a collective dream and you can change the dream. So when you begin to see the dream as a dream rather than a visceral, real thing, which it does feel when you're in it, we're not dismissing that fact, and it can be a lethal dream in that sense. Your body can seem to die in the dream. We want you to understand that when you begin to lucid dream, that means that you're aware that it's a dream. That means that you begin to change your inner world in the knowing that that is the thing that's going to change the outer world. It's the only thing that's going to change the outer world. Throwing bricks through windows is not going to change the outer world. Screaming at another group of people is not going to change the outer world. It is only changing your inner world and focusing on that which you want more of. This is why we are like a broken record when it comes to your gardening, for example, and beginning to look at how and where you can produce your own food. Why? Because the system of food delivery in your society is precarious and it is going to crash. It is going to crash. So many of you would say, well, don't frighten us, Jesus. Don't tell us things like that. This can't be true. You can't be Jesus if you say these things. It's no different than us saying that a bridge is washed out up ahead and you need to slow down. If we tell you that, you see it as a good thing. You are grateful that you're not going to go careening over a broken bridge. It's a loving thing to do. This is no different. It is a loving thing to do. That means you get together with people in your neighborhood. You look at your lawn and finally say, I'm putting vegetable boxes in there. Or you go to the neighbor next door who has a garden already and ask them, can I help you in your garden in exchange for some of these foods that you're producing? Can I give you a hand? You may have a local farmer that has a field that is fallow. they may be open to coming up with some arrangement with you. Now, this is not about money. Some of you will not garden because you can go and buy a head of broccoli for $3.99 and you think it's not worth the effort. This is not about money. This is about the food delivery systems. So everything is going to, over the next year or so, everything is going to need to go into a more locally produced system. So if you are in an urban environment, there are many what they call guerrilla gardeners in urban environments that are working in allotments, gardening on rooftops, gardening in vacant lots, these kinds of things. We want you to really think about this because we are now beginning to see the true degradation of the system, and it's getting your attention now. You're starting to feel, oh my goodness, this is not good. What's happening? This is starting to feel like a serious civil unrest problem. And we are speaking about North America here. We want you to understand that. Specifically, we're speaking about North America because of the riots that are happening in North America. But as the United States goes, so goes the world. So goes the world. The orchestrators of your society are not local. They are global. They're globalists. And so you will notice that the lockdown was implemented around the planet, regardless of the number of quote unquote sick cases of the COVID-19. That is because there is a global government that you have only just become aware of. The cards are on the table. The cards are on the table and the door has been locked. That means that they're playing their hand. So you must play your hand. Your hand is wisdom. You have been following us for some time. Your hand is wisdom. You have a guidance system. You have intuition. You have a loving community. You have been told for years to begin to think about growing your own food, finding a way to do that. Now is the time, if you have not already done that, to begin to take that seriously, because there is only so much we can do for you. We can only lead you to water, but we cannot make you drink. We can only lead you to the seed shop. We cannot make you dig up your lawn and plant those seeds. You must make a decision yourself about how you want to live over the next few years. The system of oppression that has been secretly implemented, the reason that these things are called conspiracy theories is because the secret was very, very well kept. The propaganda machine that said you must send your children to school because they'll be more successful, they will earn more money, la la la, that system was pervasive and everyone heard it, and so they sent their children to government schools. In sending your children to government schools, you are allowing them to be indoctrinated by the ruling system that they are going to live in. So on the one hand, it feels true. They're going to be more successful within the system. But the system does not have your best interests at heart. If it did, you would have organic food as the norm. You would have electric vehicles, or you would have alternative energy systems. You would have clean environments, because the ability to produce energy cleanly has been available for decades. But that's not the case, is it? So you must be logical and look at the actual experiences that you're having of your government systems, your food management systems, your banking systems. You must look and go, this is actually what's happening. This is not what they're telling me is happening. So when you have a banking system, for example, that has billions and billions of profits each year, and yet when a poor person bounces a check, they get a $40 NSF fee. That's a system that's unloving, because the poorer people pay more than the wealthy people. So this is a time of evolution and revolution and revealing. You are now beginning to see the hand that your quote unquote rulers are playing. Now, in pure non-dualistic terms, everything is perfect. And it is perfect. You have all been allowed to come onto this earth plane in physical form. You have all been given the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want. You can play the nice guy, you can play the bad guy, you can play the movie star, you can play the criminal. You've all been given free will. You've all been given a particular set of skills. You've all been given a particular set of desires in your blueprints, and you have been loved so much by the Creator that you can do whatever you want and have whatever experience you want. Now, for all of you, we want you to focus on that you've been given all the freedom that you need. You've been given all the skills that you need. You've been given intuition. You've been given connection to source. Now you must use it. You must not be influenced by the mass media systems that are shepherding you towards a corral. We bring to mind the idea once again of a sheepdog and a herd of sheep. Are the sheep free? Well, they are technically free. If 1,000 sheep run in 1,000 different directions, there's nothing the sheepdog can do. But if the sheep stay together, the sheepdog can manage to get them into the corral. So it is the mind of the sheep that is the determining factor as to whether or not the sheepdog can maneuver them. So we want you to see your individual free will as the scattering. Use your own free will to decide which way you're going to go, what you want to experience, and how you're going to get there. We want you to envision the life that you want. We want you to envision the freedom that you want. We want you to see yourself living where you would like to live. We understand that there is an endless list of reasons why you're living where you're living. They are limiting beliefs and ideas at times. Some of you are living exactly where you want to be, and you have been guided there by spirit, and you know you have, and you feel good about where you live. We are not speaking to you. We are speaking to those of you that feel stuck, that feel trapped, that feel as if you don't have the resources. These are the limitations that are now going to surface, and those are the things that you must deal with. You must deal with your financial fear, or you must deal with your feelings of obligation to certain family traditions. You must deal with your fear of being supported by the universe in some way, shape, or form. Whatever your list of reasons for not being able to make these changes, they are not outside of you, they are inside of you. That list of limitations, that list of fears those are the blocks that are stopping you being free. Those are the blocks that are stopping you expanding into what you are capable of. So you must not argue for your limitations at this time, but look at them with a clear and calm, loving frequency and say, this is the thing that I believe is stopping me. Is it true that it's stopping me, or am I just using it as an excuse? Is there something I can do differently that's going to bring out a different end result for me? So this is the time for those of you that are sort of teetering on the edge of changing where you live, how you live, with whom you live, the priorities of your life. This is the time for you to look as objectively as possible at the limiting beliefs you have that you believe are keeping you. You must remember you are a free being. You have the ability to move around the country to a certain degree. You have the ability to do things in unique ways that perhaps you've never considered. So this is the time for those of you that have had the feeling to shift and change. This is the time to begin to look at that more seriously. For those of you that have found your homes, for those of you that feel you're in a good place, that you want to weather the storm that's coming in that place, well done. You have been listening to your guidance for a long time to get to that place. And this is not about saying some of you are better than others. That is not what this is about. This is about those that have listened to their guidance have been shifted into a place that suits them. Some of you may be living in an urban environment and you feel that that's the right place for you. There are going to be beings amongst you that are placed in urban environments, because that is a place of need. That is a place where your frequency is required. So this is about really coming into your own power now. This is about really saying, I am going to put the blinders on a little bit to what's going on in the world and keep my focus on that which is truly important to me, that which is valuable to me, that which I enjoy, that which is necessary in my life's circumstances at this time. When you begin to invest in yourself, when you begin to invest in your current life, when you begin to invest your time and attention and intention to improving your current situation, distracted less and less. Of course, this was one of the benefits of the lockdown for many of you, that you were not allowed to distract yourselves the way that you always have. And many of you have made great strides in looking deeper into your hearts, in looking deeper into what you do with your time, in looking deeper into your relationships. And this is now the place to say, okay, now I have looked, I have stopped, I have reassessed, and now what am I going to invest in? Invest in that which you love, invest in that which is healthy, invest in that which is coming from within your heart, not coming from the television, not coming from what other people want of you, but coming from the heart and saying to yourself, it is good to listen to my own guidance. It's the only thing that I can truly count on at this time. My connection to source and the messaging that's coming from that connection is the thing that I need to listen to at this time. We want you to know that all of you will be getting messages about actions to take, actions not to take, things to say, things not to say, movements to make, movements not to make. You are all going to be getting that kind of information coming through if you're in the right frequency, if you're in those higher realms. The higher realms being in the realm of forgiveness, in the realm of love, in the realm of appreciation, in the realm of creativity, in the realm of peace. The messages will get to you. We will take a short break.